All right, so how are we doing, everyone? All right, and hello to everyone who is tuning in at home. We're live streaming tonight. Welcome, everyone. My name is Alicia Siegel. I'm the producer of public programs here at the Intrepid Museum, and I'm so thrilled to welcome you all back here on site for our Free Fridays and our Astronomy Night tonight. Are we having fun? All right, I love the energy. We are having fun. Downstairs, we have activities. Maybe you guys have checked that out already. We've got demonstrations about what would happen to your body in space if you didn't have a spacesuit. In just a couple minutes here, you are going to hear from our special guest speakers tonight from Astronautica, Voices of Women in Space. Also, in a little bit later on, when it gets dark out, we are going to be doing some stargazing as well. You guys excited for that? All right, super. Yeah, and you know what? It's a great night. It is really clear outside, so they're going to show you some amazing things up there for sure. But everyone, did you know that this year is actually our 40th anniversary? Did you know that? That's true. Oh, yeah. Okay. Applause for that, for sure. So this is the museum's 40th anniversary. Way back in 1982, this amazing aircraft carrier was actually rescued from a scrapyard and turned into this amazing museum that we all now know and love. And it's really become part of the fabric here in New York City. So thank you for being a part of that. Also, though, we are going to be celebrating all year long as well. We've got more Free Fridays coming up. We've got movie nights coming up, new exhibits, more special programming just like this one tonight. Also, of course, we've got our spectacular free virtual astronomy lives if you've been tuning in for that online as well. Plus, we are going to have a number of very special, very exclusive behind the scenes special events online just for our 40th anniversary. These are going to be featuring a number of highlights from our collection and never before seen things like, you know, anyone want to see what the inside of that space shuttle looks like? Yeah. All right. So tune in. We are going to be posting more information about that on our website in the coming months. So keep your eyes peeled. All right. So without further ado, everyone, the reason that you all are here now, I would like to welcome to the stage our moderator for the evening, Hai-Ting Chinn, who will talk a bit about her show Astronautica, thank you, Voices of Women in Space, and also introduce some of its writers. So Hai-Ting is a York-based singer and science enthusiast who conceived of this project in collaboration with soprano Lindsay Kesselman and contralto Kirsten Stolek. And together, they are Trio Triumphatrix. Now, the trio recorded and created these videos in a very safe bubble during the height of the pandemic in 2020. Astronautica was commissioned by Voices of Ascension, and it's represented by Trudy Chan and Beth Hullab of Black Music. So everyone, please give a warm welcome to Hai-Ting Chinn.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. As was said, I am a classical singer here in New York. I am a mezzo-soprano, which, if you don't know about classical singing, means that I'm kind of a middle soprano. So I'm in the middle of this women's trio, and there's a soprano who sings higher than me and a contralto who sings lower than me. And we are all space buffs, just like I assume all of you are. And as classical singers, we're often asked to celebrate human things like weddings and holidays and victories and other things that we all feel excited about together. So we all felt excited about people exploring space. And everything that you're going to hear tonight are songs written for us by the women who I'm going to introduce to you in just a moment. And all of the lyrics are direct quotes from astronauts. All of these astronauts just happen to be women because there are women astronauts doing the same thing as the men. And so we have made these songs using their words as lyrics, celebrating what they do in space. I'd like to introduce you to these composers who've written songs for us. Elaine Lachica, and Kamala Sankaram, Gilda Lyons, and RaShonda Reeves. We're going to start with a piece by Kamala. And I'm going to let her tell you about it before you see the video.
Hi. Oh. Hello. So when I was a little kid, there were a couple of things that I think you should know before you watch this. One of which is that I really, really wanted to be an astronaut, and maybe some of you want to be astronauts too right now. The other thing is that my dad is from India, and when I was a little kid, there were no Indian people, Indian American people that I knew of. So I didn't become an astronaut, obviously. I became a composer, but because I was really interested in space, and because I was so excited to find an Indian woman who was an astronaut, I was really, really happy when Hai-Ting asked me to write this piece, because I get to introduce you to Kalpana Chawla, and maybe you know her already, but she was a fantastic scientist, an expert in robotics, and she also wrote this really, really beautiful text about what it's like to see Earth from space. And so the music that I wrote is really just trying to do justice to her words, which are kind of the call to action to us also, about the fragility of our planet, and realizing that when you look down on it, you really want to come together and protect it. So that's the piece. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Very special feeling, a dome of a dark sky and stars everywhere, and the earth last time covered with thunderstorms here and there, with some small sprays of lightning, and every once in a while city lights peek through the clouds, and it is very much like a storybook.
Just a bluish hue, you see all the colors when the sapphire comes into view. It is an emerald green. The Sahara itself is golden brown. And you cross the Nile, it looks like a deep dark green river. It's like being fast forward. It is totally dark, then dark to violet, orange and red, the dark to violet, the dark to violet, and then it sunrise. Then at the sunset, there was a moon. At the sunset, there was a moon. Its crescent was really sharp. The colors dusty, silvery, silvery.
It really belongs to all of us.
Next, we're going to play you a series of 3 songs in a row. The first one is by Elaine Lachica.
Hi, everyone. When Hai-Ting sent me the quotes by different astronauts, first of all, I was just so excited to be part of a project that was about women supporting women. And just the text that I was really drawn to was Catherine Sullivan, who I'm sure most of you know was the first one of the first female astronauts and the first American woman to walk in space. And I was just so inspired by her story and the gender barriers she broke at the time and paved the way for other female astronauts. And I think as a layperson, her description of her experience in space, it just sounded like one of the most sublime and ineffable things like a person can experience. So I just felt lucky as a writer to try to encapsulate the feelings and the emotions behind her words.
So we're going to go straight from Elaine's piece into a piece by RaShonda Reeves.
So I chose Dr. Mae Jemison. As a child, she was on my sister's wall. She was just a staple in our community. And seeing an African-American woman from Alabama, where I have ties, grow up to be an astronaut was nothing short of remarkable to me. So I enjoyed her phrase that Hai-Ting found, her prose per se, just about being in space and being connected to the earth, but being so far above it and looking down and having, like, you know, these outer body experiences. And it sort of felt very meditative to me. So I chose the text, and something magical happened with it. And I very much enjoyed it.
So you'll see those two songs, and then a third song that I wrote, and I think it will be pretty self-explanatory.
This is where my life as an astronaut, or my dream of an astronaut, started. It was all about maps, and it was always about understanding the Earth that we live on. That's me on the left and Dave Liesma on the right, waving to our crewmates as we did a spacewalk in 1984. And you'll notice I wave a little bit and I right away go back to looking at the Earth. That's how mesmerized I always was about it. Colleagues of mine now live on this thing for 6 months at a time. I'm hugely jealous. Every time anybody cites my 530 hours in space, I feel it's a paltry number. And they have these amazing views out of the cupola, for example, which is sort of the 360-degree picture window on the space station that gives them fabulous views of the Earth.
It's hard to explain how amazing and magical this experience is. First of all, there is the astounding beauty. The astounding beauty and diversity of the planet, itself. Scrolling across your view at what appears to be a small and stately place. I'm happy to report that no amount of prior study or training can fully prepare anybody for the awe and this is Mars. I want you to do something for me. I want you to go outside and look up. You're looking at space and infinity. When you're up above the Earth's atmosphere, you see the stars more abundantly. Up above the Earth's atmosphere, you see the stars more abundantly. Up above the Earth's atmosphere, you see the stars more abundantly. the end I felt connected, I felt connected, I felt when I was in space, I felt connected with the entire universe when I was in space. And I feel that connection now. 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 I felt connected, I felt connected, I felt when I was in space, I felt connected with the entire universe when I was in space. And I feel that connection one day you'll go. And I feel that connection now. 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 And I feel that connection as well. I want you to do something for me. I want you to go outside and
How many tampons should fly on a 1-week flight? How many tampons should fly on a 1-week flight in space? I remember the engineers at NASA in their infinite wisdom trying to decide how many tampons should fly as part of a 1-week flight kit. They asked, is 100 the right number? They had never asked us, they just put them in there a lot. Put a lot in that famous NASA in-flight pink plastic packaging. Sally opens it up and looks in. You've got to be kidding me. She reaches in and picks up this band of pink plastic, and I can see tampon, tampon, tampon. She reaches the bottom and pulls again. This endless unfurling of Lord only knows how many tampons should fly on a 1-week flight in space. They had never asked us, they just put them in there. Is 100 the right number? You've got to be kidding me. These flights are going to be 4 to 7 days long. We've got some really smart math and engineering people here. We could do a probability calculation. What's the probability that any flight day goes right on the centroid of the period? And what do you think is a plausible number of tampons anybody needs in a day? They asked, is 100 the right number? No, that would not be the right number. Well, we want to be safe. Well, you can cut that in half, no problem at all. Ha 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 ha. How many tampons should fly on a 1-week flight? A lot. Put a lot. What do you think is a gossipy number? A lot. What do you think is a gossipy number? A lot. What do you think is a gossipy number? How many tampons on a one-week flight in space?
Thank you so much. It's a very important question. The next piece is on a bit of a more serious note and is by Gilda Lyons.
Hi. So I am hearing so much about how a lot of us went to things that were important to us as kids. And when Hai-Ting came to me about this project, that's where I went as well. I was in elementary school when we lost the Space Shuttle Challenger. And my parents were both school teachers. So losing Krista McCullough, who was, for anyone who doesn't know Krista McCullough, she was chosen to be the first civilian that NASA sent into space, and she was a school teacher. So losing her in particular was unimaginable to me. The Challenger space shuttle, it made it for 1 minute and 13 seconds after launch, at which point it broke apart, taking with it all 7 crew members' lives, and including Krista McCullough and Judith Resnick, whose words form the core of this piece that you're about to hear. I started from the words from the operational recorder transcript of the launch itself, and then I built outward from there to include McCullough and Resnick's words from the public record, and then other astronauts' words, people that they inspired and who have always inspired me.
And just before we start, I would like to say that all of the video that you see behind us is from NASA, and especially and is all in the public domain. They encourage people to use their images and footage for education and such things, for education and for art. And you will see a lot of footage of astronauts working on the space shuttles in this coming video. And obviously we're sitting right under the Enterprise here, so I feel like this is we have a great resonance between this music and this space.
I think we'll just use this one. Okay. T minus 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Specialist 2. 5 seconds. Would you give that back to me? It does not enter into any of our minds that we are doing something dangerous. T minus 1 minute, 33 seconds. Mission Specialist 2. Got your harnesses locked? No, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. We train so heavily for all the contingencies. We're so familiar with all the procedures. We can almost do them in our sleep. T-minus 52 seconds. Mission Specialist 2. Cabin pressure is probably going to give us an alarm. I don't think any teacher has ever been more ready to have 2 lessons. I don't think any teacher has ever been more ready to have 2 lessons. In space, we don't have atmosphere.
from a vaulted it is beautiful to look on
T-6, mission specialist 2. All right. It's everybody's business to know about space. It's everybody's business to know.
I'm a huge believer in human exploration.
It's everybody's business to know.
I'm a huge believer in human exploration.
It's everybody's business.
Choose the design. I'm a huge believer in human exploration.
It's everybody's business to know.
I'm a huge believer in human exploration.
It's everybody's business to know.
I'm a huge believer in human exploration. You think about
T+15 seconds. Mission specialist 2.
Hot, hot, hot. There is nothing there is no
I'm going to leave you on a lighter note. Go ahead.
Hey, Hai-Ting. Hey, Kirsten. Hi, Kirsten. Hi, Hai-Ting. Hey, Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay.
Hello, I'm Sunny Williams. I'm up here on the International Space Station.
Hi, Sunny.
One of the most pressing questions about living in space, of course, is the bathroom. So let's take a look at that little piece of work.
Come on in. Here we are at the throne. This is awesome. You might have noticed the little moon outside. This is our little outhouse right here. And of course it serves two functions. Number 2 right here. I'll show you. You see, it's pretty small, so you have to have good aim. Make sure things get let go in the right direction. And it smells a bit, so I'm closing it up. And that's for number 2. And this guy right here is for number 1. So there's 2 slightly separate functions, but you can do both by hanging on here and doing number 1 and number 2. I might add it's color-coded, so you really don't get mixed up. This is yellow for number 1. And also there's a selection of paper. People always ask, what do you do? What kind of toilet paper do you have? We have gloves. Sometimes it does get messy. We have some Russian wipes, which are a little bit coarse. If you like coarse toilet paper. We have tissues, if you like soft toilet paper. We have Huggies for cleanup. You know we were all babies once. If things get really out of control, we have disinfectant wipes to clean up. Just like the water I showed you, the number 1 stuff can sort of go all over the place if you don't aim correctly. And did I mention both have a little bit of suction, so they should keep things going in the right direction. But like I said, sometimes things get out of control. If you're out of control yourself, you're lying around. So we have lots of protective stuff. And of course, you do have your privacy. There's a little door, so people know you're in there.
Thanks so much, everybody. Desiree, did you want to come back, or should I just...
Yeah, so everyone, if you've got any questions now.
Sorry, Alicia.
Is that a good time? Yeah, are you all ready for Q&A?
Absolutely,
awesome.
Yes.
So everyone, they have graciously come to, answer any questions. If anyone has any questions, we can come around with a microphone for you and get your questions answered. Any questions for Astronautica? Oh, over here.
Right here. Oh, hello. How you doing? My name is Nick. Have any of you women been to space before? Not on the ship? No?
No, not on.
No.
When I was
we're
a kid,
artists.
Yeah.
So
I will say, when I was a kid, though, I really wanted to go to space camp, and my mom told me if I got straight A's until I was 10, I could go. And then she took it back. I did it, and I wasn't allowed to go. So I have this like desire still, but I think it's too late. Yeah.
He said he wants to go himself. I think many of us do. All right, any other questions? Oh, over here.
Hi, just have a quick question. When you're writing music, like your film scores, are you imagining space while you're trying to balance out the notes with your lyrics? That makes sense? Okay.
Yes, it makes total sense, and that's a beautiful question. I do, and that's I love that if we all answer, we'll give you different answers. And I mean, for me, there was a lot of crying because I realized how deep that moment went for me, and I didn't have the tools as a little kid to figure it out. You just get through it. And so for me, it was like, wow, I got a lot of stuff going on here. So yeah, it was the end of my piece is pulsars. And I told Hai-Ting and Lindsay, I told the trio that moment is pulsars, if that's a useful image to you. And they did that. They made that sound.
I think also I should clarify that we did not know that this was going to be videos. We just asked them for songs. We were going to perform these songs live in concert, just the three of us singing with no video or movie. So these aren't really film scores. They're just songs that they wrote. And then because it was a pandemic, I took their songs, we recorded them, and then I made the films to go with their songs instead of the other way around.
Actually, yeah. And when I thought about writing the piece, I was improvising just the vocal lines, kind of imagining what Catherine Sullivan had experienced in her words. And so there was a lot of feelings of like weightlessness and just feeling like a floating feeling. And so sort of naturally, sort of a chant thing started to evolve a little bit. And Hai-Ting edited the scores with me. And she had this great suggestion for any of you that know music or read music to take out the meter and to just have it very free, and the singers could just be very free with the tempo, and it gave that feeling even more. I felt, and when I saw them perform, it was just it really brought to life to me that feeling of what maybe an astronaut feels like when they're up there musically.
Hi, y'all. That was amazing. You guys are very creative and inspirational. What's next? Like, where are you guys going with women and Voices of Women in Space?
Well, I really hope that places around the world, like the Intrepid Museum, will be able to bring the live version. They will be able to perform with the video backgrounds, but with us singing live in a space, in a museum, in a theater, in a planetarium. So that's what we're working on as the pandemic hopefully wraps up, that we can have concerts of it.
We actually had some questions online too from our viewers. All right. So first question, were there any space-specific noises or inspiration from the video that you used in the sounds of your compositions?
Well, that speaks to Hai-Ting pointing out that because of the pandemic, the video component was generated, but we were writing without any specific images, except the ones that we brought. And you know, that I know that this idea of weightlessness that you're speaking to, and for me, the pulsars, that those are two really specific images.
I mean, for me, I think that what decided what the music was going to be was just the words who were from people who were in space. And so, for example, when Kalpana Chawla is talking about seeing pollution from space and smokestacks and fires everywhere, that really made the music have to be kind of scary and dissonant. And so that's the slidey part that came from her words. So I think that I think that that's how space influenced the music writing, is that we're interpreting people that were there. So even though we were not there, and even though we didn't see the videos beforehand, I think just the fact that these women, their words are so powerful, that's how it kind of made the music the way that it is.
And another question too was, if you were going into space, and I guess we can do this for each of you, if you were going to go into space, where would you each want to go? Fun question.
I think I would want to go to Mars. It's a little hot and intense, but I'm drawn to that planet for some reason. If I could survive.
I'd like to see a nebula, just because they seem really cool.
Gosh, I haven't given that a thought. I don't really know. I think it terrifies me, actually. So, yeah, but can you get close to the Northern Lights? I don't know. Anything having to do with the Northern Lights is exciting to me, but yeah.
I'm really interested in the idea of planets in the habitable zone. So like Kepler, and like I think I would want to see who else is out there. Or maybe I wouldn't. I don't know.
And I just want to go to the moon.
Amazing. All right. Any other last questions before we wrap up? If it's okay, would you all mind staying here? And if other people do have questions, they can come up to you afterwards a little bit. Excellent. Okay. Any last questions for? Oh,
where can we follow you guys?
Oh yes. You can go to astronautica.org, and that will take you through to a page that will at least have all their names on it, and maybe some links to some of their websites, but at least you'll have a list of names, and also all the lyrics and the names of the astronauts, and a way to contact us. Astronautica.org.
All right. So everyone put your hands together one more time for Hai-Ting, Chinn, Kamala, Sankaram, Elaine, Lachica, RaShonda, Reeves, and Gilda, Lyons. Thank you all so much for being here, and really just amazing work. I got to say, this intersection of the arts and STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math is just so engaging and so fascinating. And it really does remind us, of the humanity that's up there in space, right? All of these women up there doing amazing things, and of course down here on Earth doing amazing things too. So thank you so much for being here again. One more round of applause for the composers here of Astronautica, Voices of Women in Space.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Intrepid.
So yeah, if anyone has any last questions, feel free to come on up. I'm sure they'll take your questions here. Otherwise, everyone, we've got stargazing going on out on the flight deck right now as it's getting darker. So be sure to go check out what's going on out there with our Amateur Astronomers Association, who's out there now with a whole bunch of really cool telescopes. And enjoy the rest of your night here at the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum. All right, we'll see you later.